Hi guys. I'm a little bit late, but not too bad. Had some last minute stuff to do. So what I figured I would do, I was scrolling through Facebook and I ran across a, a lady's Facebook page. It is called, I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, Craft Palette. And I even shared her video. And I thought, oh my goodness, I want to make some of those. So I just figured I would do it live tonight. And so what we are going to make are these cute little gnomes. I never get tired of making them. I just kind of gravitate towards them. I have a little bit of, well, a lot of Norwegian in me. And so I always gravitate towards the gnomes. I don't think I'll ever get tired of them. If you get tired of seeing all the gnomes on here, just let me know. And I'll work on something else, but every once in a while, probably quite a bit, I'll end up doing gnomes. I just end up going back to them. But, and these here, they can be dolled up for any occasion. So, I'm going to let you know what all we need for it. All that I took was a towel or any kind of fabric would work. But I ended up choosing several. This is just a little kitchen towel, and then a bath towel. This one's a bath towel too. But you could even use regular fabric that you get, in the fabric section. And then you need a cone, which you can use anything for the base. You can use like a glass jar, a cone, a bowl, anything. Just for an example. You could even use something like this, for your base. But on that video, she used a cone, and I figured since I have some, I'm going to go ahead and make them. And then she didn't put any felt or anything on the bottom, but I think when you place it down, I don't want it to scratch any surfaces, so I went and I traced the bottom. And I'm going to put felt on the bottoms of these gnomes. That way, when you slide them around, it's going to be a little bit easier on your surface. So then, she didn't use the fluffy brim either. She just she folded the towel or the fabric that she used. And you can do that too. You don't have to have the brim on there. You can make them as simple as you want. I like them with the little fluffy brim of the hat. So that's what I always gravitate towards. But you don't have to have that. You can just leave the edge all by itself. But on mine, I ended up using some dust mops. And then I just cut them down in between the little stitches. There's empty space, and I just cut down the center of that, and then each of these is a brim of a hat. And then of course you need a dust mop. And what she did, when you get the dust mop, it looks like this. And what she did was she left it on the little holder that hooks to the pole. And then she just took the pieces and separated them so it looks a little bit more full. And I do like that effect. So this is what it looks. I've already done one. And then of course that one there. But this one I left a little bit so I can show you how I do that. But I figured you wouldn't probably want to watch me untangle or separate every strand out of the 3 mops. And then little embellishments. Like I made a little bow. And I've got like a little berry to put on there. Or jingle bells or whatever. And the other night, I ended up bringing down my little... Oh, it's probably this tall and quite a ways wide, but it has all these little drawers in it. It's kind of like a little toolbox. That was my grandparents, and they used to do tons of woodworking. Well, I got it, and it still has all the stuff that they had put in there. And I just happened to bring that. I finally brought it down to my workspace. And they had these little knobs. Some of them have a flat spot cut and then a hole. Some of them are just round. They also have different sizes. Some of them have a hole all the way through, so it's like a bead. So with these gnomes here, I'm using my grandparents' supplies. So I did not have to go out and purchase these. But for the nose, you could use whatever you have on hand. You could use a little Christmas ornament or a bead, just anything, a button, whatever you have lying around the house. Don't feel that you have to go out and purchase all the stuff, just whatever you have. And I'm using towels. I went and purchased these because I like the patterns and everything, but just use what you have around the house. You don't have to go out and buy, tons of stuff. It doesn't take quite a bit. And pretty much all the supplies you can get at the Dollar Tree. So you can get the mop head just for $1. I can't remember if they have the cones. If they don't, I know Walmart has them, and they're not, I don't think they're much more than $1. You might even get more than one in a package. But this dust mop, I got it at the Dollar Tree. And if you don't want to use this, I've also used white towels. Just anything. Anything works. Buttons and all that. You can find pretty much everything you need at the Dollar Tree if you have to go out and buy any of it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I am doing. So you don't even have to take this out. On all my other gnomes, I take all of this out. So I'm not used to being able to keep this part or, keep it attached. I always end up going, well, now what am I going to do with this? This works because now I don't have to worry about what crafts I can make with the tops. It just all goes together. So all that you do is you at the base of your mop strand, there's 4 to 6 strands in each thing. I thought they all had the same amount, but as I was doing these mops, some of them had 4, some of them had 5. It just kind of varied. They all looked the same, but some of them had more than others. And then all that you do when you pull towards the bottom, you just pull them apart. And they come apart pretty easy. Once in a while, you'll find one that has like a big piece of fluff or something extra in it. I found one that had a little bit of red or a little bit of gold fabric or something in it, or wool. And I just pulled those out because I didn't want those in my beard. You could leave them there. I know during the holidays they have those funny things where the guys hang little ornaments from their beards. You can just leave all the colored fuzz that's in there and claim that it's an ornament for his beard. But all that you do is you separate each one. And I like the effect it gives. It kind of makes it look like it's a wavy beard, where this one just kind of lays straight and doesn't have much flow. But this one, it looks more like hair. And I like the fact that they're not hard to come apart. Oh, I'll show you. I left some in there just to show you. This one has a little bit of yellow. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little, if you can't see it, take my word for it, there is a little bit of yellow in that beard. In some spots, it looks a little bit more fluffy, or they even, you'll find at the end, after you get all the way done, there's going to be extra little fluff dangling at the bottom that you can just pull off. It kind of sheds a little bit when you separate them. Oh, and when I get done with these, I do have another craft I want your guys' opinion on. I'm making like a little Christmas tree swag with like a bow at the top. But I didn't know what size bow I wanted, so I wanted your opinions on it. So I'll show it later. And I think I have enough stuff to make another one of those. So if you want to know how to make it, I can do a live on that one. Maybe even this weekend if you guys want. But I'll talk about it after I'm done with these gnomes. And I'm glad that I did some of these in advance, because it took me quite a while to do all three. So depending on what or how many you're wanting to do, you might want to give yourself a little bit of time. I think these turn out so cute. And I want to thank everybody that tags me in all of the videos that have gnomes in there, or any of the pictures that they see. They give me tons and tons of ideas. I'm sure someone out there that knows me, it refers to me as the gnome lady, because I love them. Love them so much. I even make them for my work. I work in the Vision Center at our Walmart. And I have one with little beads on it that says WVC or WMVC, I think, Walmart Vision Center. And if by chance you end up doing some of these and one of them breaks, I wouldn't stress over it, because there's a lot of mop here once you get all of them done. Sometimes when you take them apart, some of the strands aren't as sturdy or thick as some of the others, and so you might lose a strand or two, but don't worry about it, because there's plenty of mop there and you won't even notice, unless like a big chunk is gone. But trust me, it's nice and thick. If it's missing some strands, you're not gonna notice. Okay, so it looks like I've got the rest of that one done. And I just kind of run my hands through it. And just a heads up, some of the fluff will go out into the air. Here's another one with a little, I'm just going to leave that in there though. It looks like a little black speck. And then I'm going to bring this together and kind of, hopefully you can see it. See how some of it has like little stragglers? You're gonna have that. And what I do is I just kind of not hard, but I kind of grab at the ends, and that'll take some of the extra wispies from the bottom there. And so see, I have all that. And then I just kind of give it a little shake over the trash can. And that just takes all that extra stuff and puts it in there. And then what you do is you flip this over and you find your center right there. Now see where the corner is? She didn't do anything with those. But when I start to glue it, I put a little bit of glue on this side and this side and bring the corners together. So that's kind of hidden. That way when you spin him, he's not going to go, you're not going to see where those meet. It'll just look like there's beard all the way around. Okay. Before I put this on here, I'm going to go ahead and put the felt on the bottom. Because when I did the other one, I almost forgot that step. And this just helps keep it from scratching any other surfaces. And if you didn't want to do this step, you don't have to. And I always recommend putting the glue on the other surface and then put it on here, because if you go directly onto the styrofoam, it will melt it. Okay. There you go. That works out so nice. That way when it's on the table or whatever you have it on, it's not going to scratch up your surface. Then I'm going to put a little bit of glue over by this bolt and over by this bolt. And then I'm just going to pull some of those strands from both sides together, just so it hides that gap. There we go. So see, I put that glue here and here so it hides the gap there. Oh, thank you, Chelsea. I ended up getting it at Walmart. It's kind of like a soft pajama feel. But normally I've been wearing my I call it fancy outfits, that has all the bells and everything. This one just kind of seems like a regular shirt. And all of my other stuff's in the laundry, so I can wear a big fancy one tomorrow. Hi, Bailey. All right, so now that I have those sides done, I'm going to put a nice amount of glue in the center here. And like I said, I always put the glue on the other surface because it will melt. If you put it directly on here, it'll melt it. And then this small part, you're going to tip it upside down. And then you're going to stick that in the center there and just kind of hold it in place for a little bit so the glue can set just slightly. Hi, Uncle. Oh, and as I'm doing this, as I flipped it upside down, I don't know if you can see this very well. This strand here is so thick compared to all the other ones. You can pick it apart to where it's thinner, but then you run the risk of it just breaking all the way off. So I just leave it. It kind of adds character if it does come through. I am so glad that my work lets me dress up. I mean, this time of year is one of my favorite things. You know, I love being able to spread cheer and make people laugh and smile. And anytime I wear those outfits, 9 chances out of 10, somebody's going to be smiling or commenting, you know. A lot of people ask me if I get paid extra to wear those outfits. And I said, no, why? Why would I need paid extra? I volunteer for this. I love seeing everybody happy and excited. So then once you turn this back right side up, you're going to notice that this hangs quite a ways past the bottom. And if I left it that length, you're going to have a lot of extra. To where you can kind of tell that it's a mop because there's so much extra. What I did was I just took my scissors and I gave him a haircut. Oh, Chelsea, I love you. Thank you for saying that. I think it just makes me feel better knowing that somebody else is, you know, happy. Alright, so then I'm just going to find out where I want to snip this. Then I'm just going to give him a haircut. Now, I'm not a beautician, and I can't cut a straight line to save my soul. But he looks good no matter what. And if you make these, don't stress over if it's straight. Or if you want, take it to a hairdresser. They might cut it for you. Yeah, I can already tell I'm not going very straight, but it's working. And that's about how much I'm cutting off. You can already tell. I mean, like, it's still gonna hang a little bit out, but not as much as it was. Okay. Alright, so I've got all of that cut. And if you wanted, you can save all the scraps and use it for something else. I've just been pitching it. I don't do that with very many of my stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and toss that. And as you can see, when I put it down, you know, some of it ends up tucking underneath. I don't like how that looks. So a lot of times I'll just kind of give them a spin. And then it sits, you know, how I want it to. Hi, Danny. So then that's one step. After you get that portion done, I think I'm going to do the red one this time. And it's just a little hand towel. I got this one at Walmart, but you can use anything. And of course, I like my templates, so I made one. I have a really big one for the other ones that I do, and then I have a small template for the smaller ones. And this one I consider a medium size, so I figured, well, I'm just going to go ahead and make another template. So now I have small, medium, and large. Works out great. So then all that you do is you figure out where you want it. This one has a little fringe on the end. I could keep that if I wanted it, but I don't think I'm going to do that for this particular one. Okay, so my template works out so well. It goes from this white marker to this marker. So I'm just to save on my space, I'm just going to cut along this line and then put the rest of my towel away. There. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut off my fringe. And let me know if I'm going too fast. A lot of times I just kind of get in the moment. Oops. There we go. And if you wanted, you could keep like the look. I'd have just a small piece here. You can keep this and maybe cut out like a little flower pattern and use it on something else later. I love the fact that all the scraps can be used for other stuff as well. I'm sure my husband doesn't like that well because not throwing stuff away does not give me much room. Auntie, yes, that rotary cutter really saves on time. Having to use the scissors like this all the time. I have a bad elbow, and a lot of times those scissors really mess with me, but boy, that rotary really saves time. I just ended up buying a new blade for it, so it's nice and sharp. So then once I get this cut out, I always put the right side out, and then I'm just gonna fold up this edge. And since I'm covering it with this fluff, you really don't have to make a nice edge on there because it will get covered up. It's just me. I don't know. I feel like it gives it more of a finished look. So I'm going to go ahead and run some glue and then fold up that edge. how this is kind of creating a nice little edge compared to the rough one where I cut? I think it also kind of helps keep it from fraying. Hi, Echo. I really like that you guys come on and watch me and talk to me while I'm doing this. Oh, you guys are having pizza? I got home and Papa had hamburgers all ready for me, so I did not have to cook any dinner. He had it all ready for me. Okay, so now I have this edge done, so it looks a little bit more finished. This edge, I'm not gonna fold over because that one's gonna be hidden underneath. So what I do next is I fold this over kind of like to the middle, to where you see how it's going to create that point there. And then this side I'm going to fold over to the other to form that triangle for his hat. That way that unfinished side is on the inside, and then the finished edge of the towel is going to be the one that's showing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a bead of glue on the top of this part right here. That way when I fold it over, it's going to attach on here. I don't want to go underneath. I love how all of these are so simple. I'm just going to fold that over. That's going to go there. And then you just press it down. And right this section here, that's what's grabbing right now with the glue. And then see how it flips up? Because I've glued that section there. Now, you could either snip this if you wanted, but I keep this flap, and I'm going to go ahead and glue here so it glues down to that other side. Thank you guys for the hearts. Okay. All right. Then you grab your gnome body. See how that's gonna just fit right over? They look so cute. I love how they turn out. So then you just kind of figure out where you're wanting it. I think that's good. And I keep it on there so I know where I want it. And I kind of lay it off to the side. I can't remember what she did. I think she glued it here first and then kind of folded and tucked it in order for it to fold down. I do mine slightly different than what she did. But if you get a chance, look for Craft Palette. P-A-L-E-T-T-E. And I did share it on my page. So if you just scroll down my regular page, I don't think I shared it on the craft one. But if you go to my personal page, scroll down, find Craft Palette, and it's these gnomes with the cone. And then all I'm going to do is put a bead of glue and then roll. And these are really quick crafts. I really like how quick it goes. So I've got him all tucked there. Oh, thank you guys for the hearts. And then I take one of these, and I mean, you can use a towel or anything, or just leave it like this, because it really doesn't need a rim if you didn't want it to. I mean, you could leave it like this and just stick a nose on there, and I mean, he still looks really cute without it. But I'm kind of addicted to that fluff, especially now during the holidays. It makes me think of like a Santa hat or even like a vintage Santa. You have to have the fluff. So, but if you didn't want the fluff, you could just move on and put his nose on there wherever you're wanting it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this rim on there. Oh, Uncle, I do that so many times. Like earlier when I went to start my live, I went and I hit the live button. And then when it starts, it shows a little X, like if you mess up. Well, I accidentally hit that button. And so it stopped. And then I wondered what in the world happened. Yeah. It was me. I clicked the wrong spot and it booted me off. That happens to me too if I get too excited. I'll click the wrong things too. So I'm going to keep him facing towards you. That way, as I get done, you'll get to see it. Hi, Bailey. You know, I haven't named a whole lot of my gnomes. They do need names, though. A lot of them I don't keep, so whoever they go to, they can name them. A lot of them I just give out. But Chelsea, you inspired me, and with your kind words and everything, I have decided that I'm going to start making up some of my gnomes and some of my crafts. And I'm going to get some big totes and just put them all in there. And next year, when there's like a craft event or a bazaar of some sort, I'm going to get a booth and sell some of my crafts. But that'll just be sometime next year. So if you hear of any craft fairs or bazaars, you know, let me know in advance so I can ask for that time off. It's been forever since I've done one, too. And Danny, if you're wanting to do them with me, just let me know. We'll try to work something out. And then on the end here, you could just leave it this way and add like a ribbon or whatever. What I did with the other one, I just cut a little piece of that fluff and I just folded it together around the end. So it looks like a little pom-pom. But you don't have to do that stuff if you don't want to. You can leave it. But like I said, I'm like really addicted to this fluff. And then I just place that in there and fold it over onto itself. It's fluffy enough to where you don't see where they meet. And a lot of times I'll put like a little bit of glue here and glue it right at the top of the hat so it stays. You don't have to. You can let it flop down a little bit farther if you like. I kind of do that to give it a little bit of height. But I think before I do anything else with his hat and embellishments, I'm going to give him a nose. And with these, you could paint them too. You could paint him like a flesh color or a tan or a brown or whatever. I've just been leaving them with the plain wood. And then I just hold it there for a little bit. Oh, Uncle, I will do one. Now I did some of the wall hanging ones for Halloween, but I didn't do any like this for Halloween. So that will be something that I'll need to do. Can you see him? He's turning out so cute. I love how they turn out. And since he's got a lot of bright white, he doesn't really need a whole lot of embellishments, does he? Scooch him a little bit closer. So what I'm doing right here is I'm just making a little bow. I've shown it in some of my other lives. I can make another one here in a second if you like. But all that I did was I went around my hand about 6 times roughly. And then you just kind of pinch it in the center and snip it. Then you cut a little piece. That's the piece that's going to go in the center. And then tie a knot. These are the easiest little bows. And then all you do is separate them. And you can add that. I haven't got that glued down yet, but I figured I could add that to the pom-pom and then put a little berry in the center just to give that extra pop of red. And this is just a berry off of my Walmart little, they call them picks, but it's like a little flower bouquet or whatever that's 90 some cents at Walmart. They also have them at Dollar Tree though. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this little bow. Next to that pom-pom. Although he really doesn't need anything extra, but boy, I love how they turn out. Oh, I think I got lost with the comments. I don't know what you mean with the drip pan. Is it because Beetlejuice? The Beetlejuice gnome? I need to brush up. I've seen that movie maybe once or twice, but I need to watch it again because I don't remember a lot of it. So then I'm going to go ahead and add that dab of glue to keep it in place and give him that little bit of height. Then I'll hold that in place a little bit. Ooh, the Hocus Pocus gang would be really good. I'm thinking we can even do Harry Potter ones. I always seem to go back to Harry Potter, but I could see sorting hats on the tops of their heads. I love that there's so many things that we can do with it. So this one here, a lot of times I would put like greenery or something up on the side. You know, I would like cover it with a little bit of greenery. But with these, I've been keeping them really simple. I don't think they need a whole lot. I've made some that are a little bit more fancy, but I like the fact that these are more simple. And as you can tell, I always fold the hat the same way. I think that has something to do with my OCD. I don't know. I think I just automatically gravitate to that side. Maybe the next one on purpose, I'll have to go the other way just to see if I like it. So there's the first one. Very simple, but so cute. Okay. And that one I've already got it all the strands separated. So I will get this ready before I cut the towel. So like I did with the other one, I'm going to put that little dab of glue on each side. And you can use whatever colors you want. I love how it doesn't matter what material or you can use towels. You don't have to go to the fabric section. You can go to the kitchen or the bathroom section. It all works. No matter what size or what side of the store you're on. You like green, Uncle? I was going to leave it a surprise, but you probably already know. I want to send you something. And I have it here. I'm going to make you a gnome and send it to you. And this is what I got. So that's going to be the hat of your gnome that I send you. When I saw it, I thought, oh, I'm sure he'll love that. I'll let you know when I send it. That way you can keep an eye out in your mail. And then I'm going to put glue in the center. A nice size dollop of glue. Make sure you put it on that, not on here, because that'll melt it. Then you just hold this in place. Oh, and while I'm letting this dry, I'm going to put that felt on the bottom. Last time, with the first one that I did, I almost forgot this step. And I mean, you don't have to do it, but I think it'll save some surfaces later on. Oh, and Uncle, your gnome is going to be one of the other ones. It's going to be bigger. You're going to have one of the big gnomes. I figured you would have some kind of idea of what I was doing. Yeah, the one I make for you is going to have this for the hat and the body. So it sits a little bit higher. And then it's also going to have feet. Okay, so now that I have this on there, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. And then I'm going to give it a haircut. Because it does hang quite a bit past. Oh, and Uncle, I also asked Auntie Margaret for your address just in case you didn't answer right away. So I figured, well, I'll get it either way. And like I said, you don't have to be too straight with this. I find as I cut, I do end up being somewhat straight to the other side. That's just pure luck, because I cannot cut a straight line to save my soul. And I will probably find something somewhere down the road that I can do with these. I suppose I could stuff some ornaments with this, or even put it in like a sock for the birds. I don't know if there's like rules against that, to let the birds take it. Okay, so I think that's good for him. All right. And then with this towel, it has the white lines on there, but it's only on one end. It's not on the other side. So I can either have it with the lines like I did the blue one, or I could just do plain gray. Template. And there is a spot with the tag. A lot of times I'll just snip that off of there. I think with this one, I'll see if with the other one I went this way, but if I did that with this one, that line is only going to be on this portion of the hat. But if I flip my template, this is the top of my hat, I will have that stripe going all the way down. And that's kind of how I did that one there. Okay. And I did find that you got to be careful not to cut your template, because I have done that too. I forgot how hard I was pressing, and I don't cut a straight line. And I have damaged so many of my templates with my cutter. And before I finish that up, I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Because out of this size, I can do 2 of them. And when you cut this, the edges are sewn together. So you're going to have a lot of fluff when you first cut into this dust mop. Just because they were sewn together. And then the rest of it, I'm just separating so I can cut down that center spot where there's nothing but material. And then, since this edge is going to have some stuff come out, I'm going to go ahead and put it over my trash can. Shake it out. Okay. And then there you have it. Alright, so had a little wispy. On my towel, I'm going to go ahead and do like I did the other one. I'm going to finish this edge off, so I'm going to put that little bit of glue. These gnomes can be used, I mean, I could make one for every single holiday. They are so versatile. And I love that about the gnomes. You know, you can make them for any occasion. You can make them look like anything. More glue. In this step, you know, for making the edge a little bit more clean is optional, like I said before. You don't have to do this. You can skip this step, especially if you are using this, you know, it's going to cover it up. So you don't have to fold up this edge. Now, if you didn't want that fluff on there, or you weren't planning on putting a rim on it, I would definitely recommend folding up the edge, just so it looks a little bit more complete. That way, if you just wanted it left like this, you could just leave it, and it has that finished look on the bottom. But if you're going to cover it, you wouldn't have to do this section. And all that I did right now was, when I folded that up, it created like a little triangle piece that stuck out the corners. I just snipped those off. Then all you do, you fold that about half. And then you'll find where this one's going to be cute. That's what it's going to look like. It's so cute. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and put that bead of glue along this top part of my edge. Then I'm going to fold this over. Children of the Corn gnomes would be pretty cute, pretty cool. Okay, so then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this side. And if you guys make these, I would love to see pictures. Okay, then I'm gonna grab mine. Are you ready? It's gonna look like a little gnome as soon as I put this hat on there. Right now it just kind of looks like a mop. The hat gives it that finishing touch. This is like one of my favorite parts of it, is once it starts coming together and you start seeing what it looks like. I mean, I envision what it's going to look like in my head, but once I actually see it on the table, I don't know, it just fills my heart so sweet. I love how they turn out. I mean, he really does not need any fluff. We can just... This is the way I always do it. But on the other ones, I would fold it this way. This one, I can fold it this way. And that would be the opposite of what I normally do. Should I fold it this way, or should I fold it this way to where you see more of that when he's turned? So this is the normal way. You'd see more of the stripes. Otherwise, the other stripes are hidden. So you'd just see the ones on the side. Which way do you prefer? More stripes or less? I'll let you decide. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue down right here on this hat. Wendy and Danny, you like more stripes? I mean, I can't go wrong either way. I think they turn out so cute. There we go. Yeah, the more stripes does look cute. He's so adorable. Is it crazy that I fall in love with every single one? Do you like him without or with? Because I can do him either way. I'm going to go ahead. Well, I'll wait and do his nose here in a minute. Right now with this gray, with the rest of that, I think I'm going to use one with just the plain gray, and I'm going to make it into a Gandalf for Brent's man cave. I think that's what I'm going to do with some of the plain that I have left over. Okay. I see all of you like the stuff that I'm liking too, because I like it with the fluff. I'm like addicted to this fluff. When I bought all of these dust mops, the lady at the counter looked at me like I was crazy because I had like 20 of them in my cart. She's like, "Oh my goodness, that's a lot of dust mops." And I said, "Yeah, they're going to gnomes. I'm making gnomes." She just looked at me like I was a little insane. That's like with the little boot ornaments. I filled my cart with as many as I could find because I'm using those for gifts, and I just needed them for boots. The fluff is a dust mop for like a dust, kind of like a Swiffer mop, and they have them at the Dollar Tree. Now I have 5 Dollar Trees around me, and I've only been able to find these at 2 of them. The other ones did not have them, so I don't know if they're where you live or not. But if you find them, there's many uses. I stock up anytime I can because I use them a lot. Oops. Leave a short stick in. Yep, these are for the Swiffer dusters. Except I use them for gnomes. I love how it turns out. And then all that I did was I cut a little piece from that for the end. Then I just place that in the center and then fold this over onto itself. And you can't even tell where it meets. It just looks like a pom-pom. And I can't remember what the lady on that video used on the end of hers, on the craft palette page. I'll have to watch that video again. And then I'll use this second little bow. Oh, first I'm going to do his nose. That way he can come to life. I'll have to send pictures of these to my grandmother too, so she can see what I'm using some of her supplies for. She lives in Arizona. Oh, he looks so cute. I love once it starts coming together. And that nose really sets it off. And I mean, I have different sizes. I could have given him a smaller nose if I wanted to, because I have a smaller bead. I even have like dark ones. I could have given him like a dark nose. My grandma had one in here that's painted. It kind of looks like a snowball. I could have put a snowball for a nose. The ideas are endless. I even have like little Easter eggs that are speckled, or some that look like robin eggs. They would work as well. Uncle, you are right. With the imagination, they all come to life. And boy, that's why I like crafting, because it helps me keep my imagination, because I was so afraid once I got to be an adult, I wouldn't have that anymore. And this just helps my brain keep moving. And it keeps my mind off of all the other stuff too. So it helps keep my mind busy. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on here. I really love how they turn out. This one I think I'm just going to stick a little jingle bell. Oh, a buckeye would work good too. And you know, it wouldn't even have to be round. You could give him a square nose too. Just whatever. Anything works. That one looks cute with a jingle bell. I'm going to show you what that one. I think I'm going to trim the tassels though. To me, they're hanging just a little bit too low. My video wanted to know if I was still watching. I always like listening to the piano music. It's very calm and relaxing. That's the first time it's asked me, though, if I was still watching. Doesn't seem like it's been that long. Alright, so then I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue underneath and give his hat a little bit of height. Hold that down. They look so cute. And I had a friend ask me if the gnomes that I'm doing tonight, if I was going to sell them or give them away. And these I will I don't know yet. I'll probably, I already have all of my holiday gifting or my Christmas gifting presents done and wrapped and ready to go out on Sunday. So these, you never know, I might just put all of these in a big tub and save them for next year. Unless I have like birthdays or anniversaries or something, you know, then I'll just grab one out and wrap it up and give it to somebody. I do plan on making myself a gnome. I'll probably make myself many gnomes, but most of the time, the ones that I love and I want to keep, I still end up giving them out. So at least I'm still crafty to where if I want one, you know, for whatever, I can always make another one. That's how I always look at it. Oh, I can always make another one. You know, I'll give this to somebody special and I'll make mine later. So it just works out better that way. But anybody who gets a gnome from me, they know. I'm sure somebody out there refers to me as the gnome lady because I also I make them for work as well. I do know when I reach 400, I plan on drawing 2 names. I'll probably give out a gnome for those. For Christmas, I wanted to make sure to say that on here. For Christmas, I do plan on drawing a name, and somebody will probably get a gnome for Christmas. And I will post closer to the time next week. But last I looked, I have 371 followers, and that just blows my mind. I never thought I would even get past like 100, 150. When I reached 200, I was just blown away. I mean, I love every single one of you. I love all the support that you give me. And this helps me because I'm not one that would normally go out and talk to people that I don't know. So this kind of helps me talk to people without feeling like I'm put on the spot or I'm center of attention. So since I can't physically see you, the nerves are not there. But boy, I love doing these. And as long as people will watch the videos, I'll do them. I was nervous at first, but I love doing these lives. And I love crafting. It helps keep my mind active and off of everything else. Plus, if I have family and friends on here, I get to visit and chit-chat with them too. So I'm going to go ahead and show all of these. I'll pull them back here so we can get all of them. They turn out, I don't know, maybe I'm into stripes this year. I've been finding that I've been doing a lot of things with stripes too. Because this one has the stripes. This one I thought kind of looked like a candy cane. And that would be good embellishments too. They have little candy cane embellishments at the store. You can put like little candy canes on there. I did those gingerbread gnomes on the bigger ones. I love my job. It's very rare that somebody finds a job that they enjoy. I love mine. I work in the Vision Center. They also have me at the screening table. I started out as a cashier, and I've also worked in the pharmacy, but I just love it. I feel like, I have some kind of a purpose, more of a purpose where I'm working, help people with their eyes. So I love it. Even the grumpy people that come in, they come in and they vent. Hopefully that helped them, but I love where I work. There's times where I come home and I am really tired, but this helps me relax and unwind. So it doesn't actually seem like more work. It just seems like this is my playtime. So, and as long as people will watch, I will make it. And if you guys have ideas for me to do, I'll try it. So far, I haven't really had a whole lot that didn't turn out. I did have a few boo-boos in my my videos. There was one video where my glue gun broke. There was another one where I was holding a bead for a gnome's nose, and it shot across the room. So, stuff happens, and you just have to not sweat it, because you learn from it. Somebody else might have the same issue. So, and if push comes to shove, you can always stop and redo it or make a new one. So, always try it. You never know. It'll always turn out, if you don't like it, somebody else will. And if they like it and you don't, gift it to them. They'll never know that you didn't care for it. So I'm going to move these to the side for now because I have a question on another craft that I am doing. I figured I'd just kind of lump it together. Since this one's not really too long, it's only been, an hour and a half? So I took two of the little Christmas trees from the Dollar Tree, and I put them together, and I was going to make like a swag to hang. And so I bought this big bow because at the time I didn't know how to make bows. Since then, I watched a YouTube video and I've learned how to do them, and I made a smaller one, but I don't know which one I want to put on my project. So this is the project that I'm doing. This is 2 Christmas trees from the Dollar Tree. I flattened them out and I put one on top of the other, and then I kind of staggered it. So this is the first tree, and then this is the second tree. So this one is the longer one, and then I made the whole thing longer by stretching it out a little bit with the 2. And then I zip tied them in certain spots just to kind of hold them into place. And then I got some berries from, I want to say I got these at Walmart. I can't remember if they were in the 98 bin or if it was a little bit more. But I thought it would look really cute on top. And if you see any of the zip ties, Dollar Tree has these. And all that you do is you'll wrap it around, and you can twist and tie it into place to hide it. But I can't see them, so I'm not going to add any more, because I do think it looks okay. But I will do a live probably this weekend, and I have two more trees, and I'll show this process how I did it. I'll slow it down a little bit. But the question is, this here is the big bow that I got from Walmart, because at the time I didn't know exactly how big these trees were or how small they were. So with this here, would that be too big of a bow for this project? And I mean, I can shorten the tails, or should I use the smaller bow that I made? I would have to hang it a little bit higher. Do you think the smaller one does it justice? Does the big one overpower it? I was torn. So I thought I would get your guys' input on it. So this is the small bow. And then this is and of course the bow would need fluffed. And I would have smaller tails. I mean, I could actually tuck this in and kind of give it like a crinkled look if I kept it long. But I wasn't sure if it overpowered with it being so long or so big. And of course, I'll probably end up gifting this away too. Maybe one of my neighbors. I'll do this one and give it to one of my neighbors for their door. And at first I kept thinking, oh well, I could get more things and tuck in here you know, like more greenery or berries or things that look like snow or something. But with it being so simple, I think it still works. My only downfall is the size of the bow. And maybe when I do the other one of this weekend, I'll clump that into 2 projects as well, because I ended up buying some hangers and I want to make a snowflake out of the hangers. So maybe this weekend I'll do this and the hanger project. And that's when I'll attach the bow to this one. I love crafting though. They really turn out cute. I was going to clean up my area, but I didn't get that messy. Uncle, you think both look good? And if I did this one, I might make the tails slightly longer. I don't know. I'm torn with them. And Uncle, since I have you on here, I will give you a glimpse of what all I got. So you kind of have an idea of what to expect. So the hat for your gnome and the body will look like this, the camo. And then the boots are going to be in this, it's kind of like a tan color. So that'll be the boots. And then, of course, I like the fluff. So along the brim of the hat, I'm going to put this. And it's really, really soft. The gnome will probably be an indoor one just because it's fabric. So if it got wet, I would only recommend surface washing it if it gets dirty or anything. But I don't know how well it will handle being outside. I will send you a picture in Messenger showing you about what size, because I have some that are already done. But I think yours is going to look really, really cute. And then for on the brim of the hat, I got this pin. So I thought I could pin it to the brim of the hat. I just think that would look really cute. I thought it would look adorable, so we'll see how it turns out. But I'm going to work on this. Oh, you'll have to, when you get it, you're going to have to send me a picture of where it's at and show me where you have it in your house. I'm excited for you to get it. And they don't take long to do, so I will be sending it out soon. I will let you know the day that it goes out. But yeah, this pin I thought was really cute. And I thought the gold goes really well with the colors. And I'll probably use the other one, not this white one, but I have another kind of like jute twine. I'll probably use those on the boots. This here, I'll probably end up buying more of these just to see what what else I can use them for. But couldn't pass it up. It's originally an infinity scarf, but am I nuts for looking at other things and not seeing them for what they are? Like, I'll go through the clothes section and they'll have a scarf or a shawl or something, and I'm going, oh, that would be a nice cuff for a gnome, or that would be great for a hat, you know, or boy, that would look good as shoes or something, you know. I always, anytime I go in the store, I see all the other things that it can be used for. Christy, thank you. I think it's going to be adorable. And I love when the socks come with more than one pair in there. Everyone goes, oh, that's 3 pairs of socks. I'm going, no, that's 3 sets of boots for gnomes. I've got plenty of socks in my drawer, so I don't need them for me. I'll get tons of them for gnomes. Oh, and I think it's back here. I'll show you what the boots. These are the boot ornaments. They turn out super cute. And a lot of times I take the embellishments off, but they don't necessarily have to. All that you do, you put the socks over top. And then you tuck them inside. So then that's one boot. And then once you have both of them done, you glue the boots together. They're gonna look so cute. And then I'm gonna wrap like twine or something there and then tie like a little bow so it looks like they're tied. They're gonna look really cute with that fabric. I'll send you a picture of it though when it's done before I mail it out. And I will save these for more gnomes. Some of them that have like the pattern on there really gives a good effect as well when you make those gnome boots. Alright, so I'm gonna do the last bit of this one, show you all of them again, and I'm gonna get ready to get off of here. I can do Uncle's live if you want. I can do that. Let's see. I get off tomorrow 7, so I could probably do it Saturday. I get off at 6 on Saturday, so I could actually work on his then. Unless you guys aren't tired, I could work on it right now too. For the yes please, is that to do it now? To do the other one? It wouldn't take much. Wendy, it does not take much. All that it takes is a little imagination. Any little bit, you'll be fine. And if you have any questions, message me, whatever. I'll let you know. I'll give you my ideas too. All right. Well, if all of you guys are okay with me still going, I'm gonna go ahead and do this big gnome. So all I do and the supplies, I just get them at the Dollar Tree. I haven't seen, I think you can get these at Walmart or a craft store, but I'm not sure with the little boots. I don't know if they have those at other stores or not. And I just now decided I'm going to go ahead and pull these embellishments off just because I could feel them, but you don't have to because it does cover it. And a lot of times they come off so quick. And if I wanted to, with as easy as these came off, I could use these on another craft if I wanted to. I have so many of them, I've just been tossing them out. Okay, Uncle. I totally understand. You want to be surprised. Okay, so then all that I did was I took the sock and I covered that boot. And these are just like little anklet socks. I have done like the knee-high, used those. But on the bigger ones, all that I do is I snip off what I don't use if it's a bigger one, because I don't want to stuff all of the excess in here. But on these small ones, it's not much to stick that in there. So, let me see. I might end up using those. I'm going to use this one. So, on the hat, I take all the tinsel off of this tree. And, well, it's the hat and the body. And it comes off really easy. And, I mean, you can save it for another project. I'm not really a big fan of the sparkly, tinsely stuff. So, again, this is a part that I end up getting rid of. And then this is what it looks like underneath. And they have different ones. It doesn't matter what color it is under here. They have some that are yellow, some that are black. I've seen red ones. And this one, I'm really happy that it's green underneath because that's my uncle's favorite color. It's my favorite color as well. So since this is for him, I'm really happy that it has his color on there. And then right now I'm just going to do some embellishments on his boots. And I was thinking of using the darker twine. I might be out. I think I am out of the dark one. Nope, I see it. So 1 second, I'm going to go grab it. And then I'll use this for something else. So 1 second. Okay. It was across the room. Normally I keep them together. This works though. I think this color will work better than the bright white. Okay, so all I'm going to do is wrap around the boot a couple times. And then I'm just going to tie a bow like I'm tying a shoe. It almost feels like I'm helping a little baby with their shoe. Bailey, I miss you too. Okay, then you just figure out how big you want those loops. And then you trim off your extra. And I've done this gnome in another live. They're pretty simple. And I had gotten the idea from, I think there was a lady on YouTube, or it could have been a Facebook post. Okay, so there's my boots. They look so adorable. In his gnome, I had a choice. I can either make him standing up, which once I cover this as the hat, I could have him stand, or I could have it sitting down. And I haven't fully decided. The one standing up is a lot easier to make. I'm kind of leaning towards the one sitting down just because it takes up a little bit less room, I think, in order to ship it. So I think I'm going to make his sitting down. But I'm going to work on his hat now. So I'm going to set his boots aside. And this hat form I'm going to set aside. And then I made a template. For the hat. I'll move all of that. It's a pretty large template. And I make the templates after I do my first project. The first one is just my experiment. And so with the second one, I use that first one as my guide. On the other one, oh, you're wanting me to do a standing one? I can do him standing. I think he might even like the standing one a little bit better because in the military, he was in the military, and a lot of times they'll salute when they're standing and not sitting. So maybe I will do a standing one just because that one is a little bit easier. You don't have to stuff the bottom. So easy peasy. For the sitting one, all you have to do is where this hat form meets those shoes, you have to stuff it with something and give it a bottom. That way it's not just empty space, and it gives it a little bit more stability. And then I came up with another template to make like a little, I call it a diaper, to cover that stuffing. So, but this one I think will work a little bit better with the military one, because he'll be like standing in attention. So thank you for changing my mind. Because I think he'll like this one a little bit better. Okay. And that's another thing too I really like about the lives is when people comment and they give me their input, the crafts go in such a great way, you know, because it's not just my creation, it's everyone else's as well, because everyone's brains are going at the same time. And when you start your craft, you think, oh, this is what it's going to look like. But in reality, everyone else is giving you ideas, and it's changing up your craft to make it even better. So that's one thing that I really like about these lives, is I'm not just inspiring somebody, everyone else is helping me. So you guys are inspiring me as well. So I thank you for that. So on this fabric, it has this little white part. I'm not going to keep that on there. So I'm just going to take that off. I mean, you could keep it on there. You can hide it, because this makes a really long hat. But I really like, I'm going to have it more finished. So, okay. I'm so excited about this one. I'm so glad that you guys are not tired of me crafting tonight and that I'm still able to keep going. Okay. Now on the other one, I did fold down and make it more finished. I could do that. I think I might end up doing that on one side, just so I have a finished edge when it's complete. So I think I'm going to do that first. I'm going to go ahead and do that along this bottom. I'm going to fold up just a little bit, and then this long edge, I'm going to fold it as well. Oh, I try to avoid the noose. That's why I'm in here. A lot of depressing stuff. Is on the news. Plus, I hear a lot about the news when I'm at work. So when I'm at home, I don't really want to deal with it, I guess, is the best way to put it. So I just do my crafting. And if I'm not crafting, 9 chances out of 10, I'm crocheting. So I just finished some scarves that I'm giving out for Christmas. I have a lot of people asking me if I would make them stuff for their Christmas gifts, and I find I don't have time to do a whole lot of other people's, because when I crochet for one person, then another person steps up, and then another person, and then I don't have time for my Christmas gifts that I want to do. Ooh, I could do a chicken one. I could actually use a boa. If I wanted to do a white chicken one, I could use a white boa and wrap it around the hat so it looks like chicken feathers. And then on the top, oh my goodness, Christy, now you got my brain going too. I love how gnomes are so easy to where they work for anything. Any project, any idea, they all work. Okay, now I'm going to work on this one up here. And if you didn't want like feathers on a chicken one, you could always use like a towel or fabric to create that look. I just think the feathers would be really cute on the hat, make it look like a chicken. Do you guys have Dollar Trees near you? I know that kind of sounds like a weird question, but I'm not sure how far. I mean, a lot of times you see Casey's close to here, but then you get up, or to certain areas, and they're like, what's a Casey's? We have like a Quick Trip, or something like that. Do you guys have Dollar Trees? Awesome. Yeah, most of now this fabric, I ended up just getting it at Walmart since I work there. And I didn't think that, I haven't seen any anyway at Dollar Tree. Okay. All right. So I did this long edge and the rounded edge. Then I'm going to start gluing. And I just put a little bit of glue along this base. And I keep it fairly close to this bottom. I kind of make it hug the bottom of there, and it kind of curves in. try to make the material curve in so you're not going to see that bottom part of the form. In this part, I just do a little bit at a time. And these are in the Christmas section. Now, if they don't have these, a cone, like a styrofoam cone, that might work. Trying to think of what else. Yeah, a cone would be the best bet if you can't find these. These are normally seasonal. They look at me like I'm nuts when I fill my cart with quite a bit of them. I tell them, I'm a crafter. So I've got plans. These are going to other people. I think sometimes when they see me with my cart full of the goodies, they're like, "Oh, this lady's a hoarder. She just doesn't know how many, when to stop." But no, there's a method to my madness. I turn things into beautiful other things. Yes, tomato cages. That's right. So we have what's called an Orscheln's, and I'm sure they have tomato cages. Danny, thank you for that, because I was running a blank. And that is what they're called. They're tomato cages. Oops. I already like how this is turning out. And for those of you that don't know, my uncle is pretty special to me, and I've never even met him. He's one of my lost family members. So, when they were little, I say they were taken, but they were put up for adoption. They were taken from my grandmother, and we found them. Well, not all of them, but we found some of our family members. And I am just over the moon, and I hope that I can meet him someday. See how this is? I'm just kind of working it so you know where that crease is going to go. And I'm just doing this finished edge that I made, and I'm just gluing it down to the other fabric. Wendy Danielle is my daughter. She lives probably about, what did you say, maybe 20 minutes from me, and we're in southeast Iowa. If you watch many of my lives, you'll notice that I'm talking to her all the time. We see each other pretty much every week. I love that she lives so close. So, Wendy, you live in Washington State? my cousin, she lives in Washington. I can't remember exactly where or what part. My auntie that comes on, she would know. Oh, you might be pretty close to my cousin. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask her. I think my cousin works at a VA hospital in Washington. Okay, so now I'm at the very tip of this. I'm probably going to snip it right at the end because the very, very tip is not as cute. So I normally just kind of snip it. So then there, oh, I have wispies. And of course, that flops over. I love it. And I have to figure out what size nose I want him to have too. Alright, so now that I have that done, I'm going to attach these feet. Oh, my cousin was in the military as well. I think that's probably why she's working at the VA. But I can't remember what part, so I'll find out. So in order to join these, I want to join them in the middle. So I'm just going to put a nice, generous amount of glue. And then I'm just going to stick these together, making sure that the feet are pretty straight. I mean, it's not too important. You can make it kind of look like he's taking a step if you wanted. I normally have all the gnomes with their feet together. You're pretty much just creating a space, you know, because once this goes in there, you're making that, you're filling up that space. I'm already liking how this is turning out. I'm so excited. And I apologize if I tear up because I am a very big crier. I'm very emotional. So if I do that, I do apologize. And I want to keep the seam to the back. And once again, I'm going to have it still flopping down on that same side. I tell you, it's got to be my OCD as to why the hat always goes to the one side. Ooh, does it matter with the military? With the military, they don't normally have floppy hats, though. I think I'll still be okay with this. And I don't want to have the hat too far down because it'll hide his boots. So I want to make sure where these boots are touching on the inside. So I'm just going to kind of tilt this to the side, put some glue on there, just where it's going to meet with that frame. and then you tip it to the side. With the military not having floppy hats, we're going to make an exception for this gnome, and he's going to have a floppy hat. They just work out better that way. Here in Mount Pleasant, I took all the ones in my in my store just the other day. So my town doesn't have any more of the boots unless they've restocked. I mean, I still have 4 more that I can go to find some. But I hope they never discontinue these boots because I see a lot of them in my future. I would use every single one. And I tried ordering online, but these boot ornaments come in a variety pack. So it has a Christmas ornament, it has a little hat, it has a boot, it has a penguin, and I think a little house. And there might be a few other different things on there. But you get one of each in each clump. So I can't just order the boots. So that's why I have to physically go to the store and fill my cart with all of their boot ornaments. I am loving him already. My goodness. Okay. So I will take this. And this is just an infinity scarf that I got. At first I was going to use a washcloth and use that around there. I was going to fold it a few times for the brim of his hat. But then I saw this in the store and I stopped dead in my tracks. And I said, oh my gosh, I've got to use that because that's amazing. This is so soft. I wish you guys could feel how soft it is. So all that I'm going to do is cut this open. So they've made it to where it's like a tube. That might actually work out in my favor. So, with it already being in a tube, I might keep it in a tube. I've never used this material before, so you're going to witness my first time. So if I have any boo-boos in this, you'll get to see it. But I'm pretty sure leaving it in the round, I'm thinking it'll well, it might be too wide. So maybe I don't know, I'll probably cut it. Boy, that's going to work out for quite a bit of gnomes. It would probably also work for a beard if I wanted to use that as a beard for a gnome instead of the mop. Speaking of which, I have to go grab another mop head. So 1 second. My room is not that big, so it doesn't take me very long to get to the other side. So I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. So yeah, that's going to be too wide. So I'm going to go ahead and cut at the seam. Okay. Okay. So I will see how much I might have to fold down one side. So I'm gonna, since this is not very straight on that side, I'm gonna go ahead and cut that as well. Okay. So I'm gonna measure and see, because I'm gonna kind of fold this into thirds. But I'm just gonna see how big I need it to go around. Okay. This one I should probably shake off too. It has a lot of fluff. Yeah, I would probably say maybe 6 inches. Yeah, roughly 6. Okay. Then I'm just letting all the extra fluff go. Makes my nose itch with all that fuzz. Okay. So then I'm gonna put a bead of glue down this center. Then I'm just gonna fold that up. Add more glue. Aw, thank you. I always tell people too, if I do go too fast, just let me know and I'll slow down. And I mean, later down the road, if it's one that's already videoed, you can always stop and rewind. But during a live, especially if you're going to be doing a craft or if you're writing stuff down, it's easier just to go slow. And I love crafting, so I could do this all night. Oh, I love how this is going to look. Okay. So I have that all done. This here's my scene. So then, before I put that on there, I'm going to add his beard. And all I use is four strands. So I just take those out. They pull out really nice and easy. And this one, you cut in half. And then you cut each of these in half as well. And on some of the other ones, I ended up using 8, but I found this works pretty good. Okay. So then you're going to find your center. This one, I think I'm going to pull these apart. That'll make it kind of look a little bit more full. Night, Auntie. I like the effect this gives when you pull them apart. And it's really good that it's easy to pull them apart. Can't remember what project I was doing the first time that I ever pulled them apart for, but boy, who would have thought a mop would have so many uses? And I've made, I don't know how many gnomes. Too many to count. I even used the little Christmas trees that I showed earlier. I used those to make gnomes. And I also made a tree into Santa Claus and an elf. Almost everything I look at, I see gnomes everywhere. Okay. So then, put a little bit of glue in the center there. And then you'll just place, be careful not to glue your fingers. And I normally always put quite a bit of glue there, which you don't really need a whole lot. It's just to hold that on there. I found with this material, it's kind of hard to see that glue. It hides inside the little curls of the fabric. I'm going to add more glue. There was one live that I had done, and my aunt had asked me, if I had done this one craft where I was making, I want to say it was feathers or something, and I had to brush out the yarn. And so she had asked, well, I wonder, how it would look brushed out with the mop. It did not look right at all, and it just kept falling apart. And I think I have that video on this page as well. I done that one, it was pretty late at night. Just kind of did that one on a whim. And I'm I'm going to put a bead of glue over top. And I'm just going to place the leftover strands on top just to kind of give it a little bit of depth, a little bit more, have it be a little bit more full. And I'm not really measuring, I'm just kind of putting them here, there, and everywhere. I like how when you take them apart, it makes it look a little bit wavy. There we go. Okay, then I'm just going to let that go for just a little bit, let that dry. Okay, that should be good. Then I'm going to put more glue. I'm just going to do a little bit above the beard and some on top of the beard. Then I'm going to scooch him over here. Then I'm just going to see where I want him placed. Probably right here. Make sure not to get that tip of the hat in there. He's looking so cute. And if you think that this is too long, you can trim it up. Okay, then I'm going to put more glue. And hold that in place. He's looking so cute. Hold that in place a little bit. I am so glad that you guys are still watching and not getting bored with me. I really thank you for that. I noticed there's a little opening where I created that little pocket, so I'm going to add a little bit of glue there. pretty forgiving. I think I might even add a little bit of glue up on the top just to make sure I have good coverage on there. I think I might trim his beard too, just because looking at him straight on, I'm kind of losing the bows on the, where the shoes are tied. So I might trim it to where it's just about at the edge of his uniform. And I mean, you can see the back of his uniform here, but right where the beard is, I think I'm going to trim it up right where that uniform sits. I think he'll look better where we can see his boots. Oops. There, now it looks like he went to the barber. Did I do it too straight, or does he still look okay? I mean, I can't cut a straight line to save my soul, but at least you can now see his ties of his shoes. And for the tip of his hat, should I do a piece of fluff like I did on those others? Or should I just do like a bow? He is turning out so cute. I really do appreciate all of your guys' input and comments and everything in helping me put together this gnome for my uncle. Okay. So, I've been calling these messy bows. I don't know what anybody else calls them. It's just wrapping around your hand about 6 times, and then you snip it, and then you tie it in the center. So I could either do this on the end, or I can do the fluff, or maybe even the fluff and the twine, or even put the twine up here. I don't know if I want to put that there. I think I would put this here if I did it, because I have a special pin that I want to put up here. Okay, so you guys like the fluff. You guys are really on the same page that I am. I love that a lot of my followers have the same likes and everything that I do. A lot of times I'll doubt myself and I'll ask my daughter, you know, what do you like? I knew which one I liked more, but I still wanted another opinion. And she would go ahead and tell me, and then it's the same one that I wanted. I should have never doubted, but I always end up having to ask. Okay. Well, I love this material. Okay. So there's that. And then I'm going to do my signature thing. I always end up giving it a little bit. I know there's like a little loop there, but I always glue it down just a little bit so it doesn't, I don't know, it gives it a little bit more pizzazz, I think, don't you? It also gives it a little bit more height. I just think it makes it look a little bit better when it's propped up just a little bit more. Then I will add this bow. That is looking so cute. I'm going to trim the little tassels to the bow, though. Yeah, I think that looks... Yep. Then I'm also going to think of his nose. You guys, both ways look good. So I'm going to show you his nose. So here's the little one. Or I can give him a big nose. I kind of personally like the big nose. Both of them would work, but I think the big one, I don't know. It just, I like my gnomes with big noses. That'll probably be the one I go with, is the big one. And a lot of people always say go with your gut. I have a hard time with that. I doubt my gut. But I always like having other people's input. Oh my goodness, guys. This is like the best part of the gnomes, is seeing it come together at the end. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to see it with a pin. Oh my goodness. He's so adorable. I'm so glad you guys wanted to see this. The sooner I get it done, the sooner I can send it to my uncle. Isn't it so cute? My goodness. I probably should not get so excited over my projects, but they turn out so adorable. Is there a certain side that the military have their pins? That might be my deciding vote as to what side to put it on. For arms, I've had some ideas. Like with this one, if I wanted to add arms, I would probably use this material and a pipe cleaner in the center, and then fold it in on itself so I can like bend it to wherever I want. And then I would create mittens with maybe the fur or with felt. For now, I'm just going to stick the pin. But I am going to find out. I'm going to have to find out if there's a certain side that they normally wear their pins or stripes. My dad was in the military too. I know it's just not, I should know a little bit more about it, but I'm not good at that. And my memory is not that well. So, I mean, they could tell me, and I probably wouldn't remember it anyway, because my memory is bad. Ah. What would it be with this one? It's on, it is on his right side, on his hat. Maybe I should ask, maybe I will message my uncle and ask him what all he was, and then I will place it wherever he put his pins or whatever. Do all of them get pins? I suck at this. I'm not very good at knowing my military stuff. All that I know is they deserve more than what they get. And see, I'm not sure. I don't know if he was an officer or not. I will message him more. But boy, I love how this one turned out. And I think no matter what side I put it on, he's gonna love it. Sorry. He turned out cute. Oh, goodness. Chalk that up to my age and being emotional. He turned out amazing, though, I think. I hope you enjoyed watching me put him together. If you do try it, send me pictures. I would love to see how yours turn out. On some of the others, I added stuff to the boots, like little berries or bells. But on this one, I don't think he needs it. I love how he turned out. I am so glad you guys wanted to see it. And I hope you guys make one. And Danny, we are definitely going to have to do Harry Potter ones. And maybe even some Halloween ones. I don't know. I'll have to get more of the trees and find more boots. I tell you, all of the Dollar Trees are going to see me come in and go, oh no, hide the boots. They'll be calling each other. All the stores will call each other and say, oh, watch out for the boot lady. She'll take all of them. Oh, Wendy, if you like Harry Potter, you should check out some of my pictures on here, because with the little witchy hats, my daughter and I made sorting hats out of those with felt, and they turned out so cute. So, oh, Wendy, thank you for watching and giving me feedback and input and everything, and talking me into doing this. I really enjoyed it. And I'm probably going to get off here too, because I got to work in the morning. But I'm going to sign off. Keep watching, because this weekend I plan on doing some more, probably 1 or 2 more lives. And then, well, I'll probably just do one, because Sunday is Christmas gifting. So I'll probably do one Saturday. So just keep checking back on my page. And then I will talk to you guys later. Thank you again for watching. I really appreciate everybody's input and you guys taking the time to watch. Thank you. Have a good night.